Hello, welcome back to Scene by Few with Nick and Lance.
Brower.
So this episode, it's a holiday special, and what holiday is it? It's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Thanks. So for my birthday, I'm just gonna pick a movie, because why the fuck not? And am deciding to do The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, and you can tell by this cover here that it's obviously high budget and very amazing.
And Nick was thinking, what is the movie I could pick that will get the least possible views?
Yeah, this one's we might not need to dedicate a large amount of time to this.
Yeah, well,
I don't know that people are watching it, but still, if you want a look into weird movies I enjoy, when you're like, Nick has never seen Jaws or The Godfather, well, I have seen this a lot.
We keep picking movies that we think are going to be like, it's going to be the one. This is going to be the one that's going to get us a lot of views, and watch this fucking movie become the one that's got like 1,000
Maybe
views.
a lot of people clicked on Outlaw Star.
Surprisingly.
I know. So I can't predict it. We go to see Barbie, 8 views.
What do you people want from us?
Yeah, we go to see. I think our audience is the same type that doesn't have the time to get out to the theaters. So new stuff is not as up there. It's just kind of like, I remember that from the 90s when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I remember this from the early 2000s when I was not a kid, but not an old motherfucker either.
Yeah, I remember y'all watching this at my house.
Yes.
And we'll get into it.
Which I guess prompts the question. Lance, what would you give The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra from 0 to 10?
I would give this a 4.
Really, just a 4?
Okay, I'll say a 5.
Okay. I gave an 8 because I'm hoping it grew on you by now.
No.
I was hoping we jammed this into your head enough that you're taking on it.
No. I'd give it a 5. It's fine.
No.
You know, it's middle of the road for me, and I'll explain more later.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
I think I'm gonna round this one up to a 10.
Fucking.
It's close. A 9 is. I'm kind of between a 9 and a 10.
Okay. I mean,
it's kind of like, do I want to give it a 9? But at the same time, I enjoy watching this one just as much as I enjoy watching Josie and the Pussycat. So maybe I should give it a 10 rather than just a 9.
So in viewings.
In viewings past, I would say like a 9. But like revisiting it this time and thinking about it, like maybe I should just pull the trigger and call it a 10.
Okay.
Because it's kind of there for me, to the point that I quote it that many times. I've watched it just on, like, just thrown it on before. I have shown it to friends before, on like Discord or whatever, to be like, hey, it was, around the anniversary of my brother's passing or whatever, and it helped me distract me by letting me show them stupid movies. So I showed one friend like Josie and the Pussycats and The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, and another friend The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra.
The lawyer guy, the lawyer that plays games.
No, but some people I've met in his stream.
Okay.
So I forced them to watch this, and they both thought it was funny, or at least they told me they thought it was funny. But they were laughing at the stupid shit in it.
So we're gonna get into spoilers just so I can go ahead and
Yeah. I mean,
justify to my very, very good friend.
you can at least. I own this on YouTube. I mean, I own it on DVD as well, but my PC does not have a DVD port. Otherwise, I would have streamed it to him that way. So I bought it on YouTube. But it's at least buyable. It's not nearly as obscure as some of the ones I've pulled up.
And you can probably find it relatively cheap.
No, yeah.
It's not a bad one to have in your collection.
If you like weird, badish movies.
If you like movies that lampoon old movies.
Yes, it is. When you look at what it is just in a clip, you might think, oh, it's just an old movie. It's not. It was made in the 2000s. And it is lampooning old movies, old sci-fi movies specifically. And those old tropes, including bad acting, stories that don't make sense, and all that sort of stuff, and just kind of like, turning it up and making it enjoyable.
Think Ed Wood when you watch this movie. And you're right there.
I don't know Ed Wood.
He's one of the worst directors in Hollywood history. He was the king of Mr. One Take.
Okay.
And we got it. All right, moving on. And even though...
Really, I was coughing in the middle of one. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's exactly how he was, too. It was just like, yeah, we got it. Let's go ahead. Let's move on. So, think Ed Wood while you watch this movie.
Did he even take him, was it Bromford Canyon, I think it's what it's called? Because that's where they went. You know that little cave that they found the skeleton in? That was the Bat Cave that the Batmobile drove out of in the 60s.
Oh, really? Did not know that.
I've watched the commentary a couple times and the special features a couple times. Like I said, I watched this movie a lot.
That's interesting.
All right, so spoilers. You don't want to get spoiled on the Lost Skeleton of Cadavra.
You don't.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I need to go ahead and just justify myself to you.
Sure.
So, the movie's good. I'm fine with a good movie that lampoons old movies, or I'm good with a good tongue-in-cheek, like, it's so bad it's good movies. But this was just a constant barrage of, like, terrible, like, writing and acting on purpose.
Yep.
And, like, it was just coming at me so fast and so often, it was just kind of like, okay, I get it. Old movies are bad. You know, like, it's... I wouldn't say that I like it any less than I did when we watched it back in the day. But my favorite parts are still the same things. I love Anamala. I think she's adorable.
Yeah.
But, like, the doctor...
Which one, Dr. Fleming?
Yeah,
Or Dr. Armstrong?
Dr. Armstrong. It's a good thing you married a scientist who likes science.
Oh, yeah, he's always doing science.
Yeah.
I find that amusing. And I also like that it's hard being a scientist wife, the wife of a scientist. But other ways, it's good. Really good.
Yeah, it's just so... Some of the writing...
That's what I
it's
enjoy
intentionally fucking horrible, which makes it...
That's what makes it funny to me. Like Dr. Fleming being like when the Ranger Brad's like, oh, you don't really believe in this Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, do you? It's like, I'm a scientist. I don't believe in anything.
See, that part was funny.
Yeah.
But, like, and then him laughing in the cave.
Uh,
And it was literally like, it was one of those things where it's like, just keep rolling and see how long it'll go.
that's the director's off screen going.
Yeah.
And they telling him to ham it up.
And then he actually, like, laughs and they're like, cut.
And then they get it.
Yeah.
I also like that the Lost Skeleton has been lost for however long, and he's like 5 feet in a cave with a blanket on him. It's good, so good.
Yeah, like the parts that I thought were really funny was like, bring me the stone, and she's like, oh, I'm being mind controlled. Oh no, and then he's like, I sleep now, and she's like, rip.
Or like when Crowbar and Lettuce are like held by his mental ropes, and it's like, get these ropes off me. And Armstrong goes over to try to get the ropes off, and like, I don't see any ropes. It's like, I think they're mental ropes. I think a skeleton is doing it.
Yeah. It's just...
It's good.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just...
Okay.
It didn't grow on me over time.
Yeah.
It was just fine. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's just... You know me. I like to like movies. And this movie... It's good, but it's not good at the same time. And I know this is a movie that you, Tim, Amber, I know that y'all fucking love this movie because God knows y'all quoted it like fucking crazy.
It's because it's quotable.
And for the longest time, it's like y'all nobody could pick up a drink without going tip, 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 tip for the longest time. But yeah, it's a good flick. And I'm really sorry to disappoint you.
It's not disappointing. I was just wondering if it grew on you at this point in time. Have you seen Dark and Stormy Night yet?
No.
Okay. Is our old mysteries more suit than old sci-fis? Because that might... I know Tim, at least Tim used to like Dark and Stormy Night more than this one. I don't know if he still does or not.
So he loaned it to us. We have it over there. It's just we haven't sat down and watched it. I think Amber watched it, and I think I was sitting in the room one time when it was on, but I don't think I sat and watched it.
So that's another... It's more lampooning mystery movies than sci-fi movies. It's still bad writing and kind of like weird twists and turns, but using a good chunk of the same cast.
Okay.
So the Animala, I mean, that's Larry Blumeyer's wife, or Blumeier, I don't know how to pronounce it. So when he's directing something, I mean, she's probably going to be in it. I think it's got Faye Masterson, Betty in it. And when you watch this movie, you're like, man, this people's acting is terrible. Well, Faye Masterson is British.
The guy who played Crowbar.
Yes.
You could tell that he was a serious kind of an actor.
So in watching the special features, so he was playing a double role. He was playing the man who got a part in a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
So he imagined himself like, I'm going to play this guy, and this is the best part he ever gotten. And it was going to be like the juiciest role. He found like a speaking role in a motion picture. So he was playing a man hamming up being in a movie.
Okay, because like I could tell that he seemed like he was like in it to win it, even for the content that he was.
Yeah, he was playing a guy like imagining like back in the 30s or 40s, whenever like a movie this would come out, and like who would get that kind of role and who would like ham it up in that kind of role. Someone who was like a stage actor and this is their first movie.
Okay.
And he's going to like perform the hell out of it. You don't care about the material, but you're going to like do it so that you can like get it. It's the leaping stone for you to get better movies.
Okay. It was his Launchpad movie. Got it. So I did get that.
Yeah.
That did come through. And his wife, Lattice, she struck me more of like a housewife that wandered into a role because the way she delivered her lines was like, what are you going to do?
You can also tell she's a good actress because through most of it, her arm was like, I don't know if it was broken or just sprained, but like her arm was broken. Hence why she's always like holding her arm folded over or just kind of like keeping one arm kind of like.
Interesting.
Because she knew that if she went to get someone to check it out, they'd tell her she couldn't work on a movie.
Oh.
So she just, didn't report that until the movie was over.
See, I wish I would have known this going into it, and I would have probably looked at the movie slightly differently.
But you can see that it's good actors pretending to be bad. Even to the point where, like, Ranger Brad or whatever is, like, standing off to the side on a box, like, arms down to the side. And he was like, hey, you sure you want me to act this way? And he's like, isn't that just going to make me come across as, like, wooden and bad? He's like, yeah, that's what we're going for. He's like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, truth time. Mm-hmm. This is the first time, we watched it last night. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've watched the movie from beginning to end.
Oh, really?
Because I think that
you're then distracted.
I think that I was in and out when y'all watched it in the past, because God knows y'all watched this movie quite a bit at the old house.
Yeah.
And I think I was just kind of in and out. To me, it's... what is it? The Shawshank Redemption for you.
Okay. Where you've picked up like bits of it, but never like really.
I've seen it, but not all the way from beginning to end. It's
That's even with the Shawshank Redemption. I've seen it because I've seen people parodied it so much that I get that this scene from it, this scene from it, this scene from it. Where if you put it all together, you get the overall story. You're just missing the connecting bits.
That's got to be interesting. I'd love for you to be able to sew that together for me, and we watch the Shawshank Redemption from parts of other shows doing the Shawshank Redemption. I bet that'd still be a pretty good movie.
Or just like take the bits of the Shawshank Redemption that are parodied and see if it makes sense.
All the parodied stuff that you've seen, put it together as a movie, the Shawshank Redemption, and watch that. I bet that would be a brilliant fucking movie.
Yeah, it would be a decent chunk of Family Guy. I think Simpsons has done it. I know other people have done it too.
Okay. Well, we watched it last night. And Amber was like, let's go ahead and watch it. And we watched it late at night. And then I started the movie up and I fell asleep probably about 45 minutes in. And then Amber goes, Lance, are you sleeping? And I went, yeah. So I rolled it back to the last thing I remembered. Then we continued on. And when it was over, I literally stuck it in the box and went straight to bed. Yep. Like it's fine. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the best thing I've ever seen. It's enjoyable for the fact that it is good actors acting like bad actors in a bad movie. Yeah. But
and just the line delivery and the line choice is what I find amusing. Like they're all like they're chilling in the cabin. A knock on the door. It's like, oh, let's go check out the door. And they open the door and in steps the forest ranger and he's like, oh, I just needed to tell you guys that a farmer got horribly mutilated. I'm like, oh, horribly mutilated, huh?
Mutilate. Mutant.
I wonder.
Whatever.
Oh well.
Yeah.
But just like, oh, horribly mutilated, and just kind of like so casually with the word horribly mutilated, and at the end when he's like taking him out, like it was just a bear. It's like, can a bear do that? Horribly mutilate? It's like in my time I've seen bears do things even a bear wouldn't do.
See, my favorite part of the movie was, where's this cabin? Oh, you're gonna want to go down Death Road to get eviscerated Cove, and like it was just
go past Devil's Soap.
Yeah, and then like and then you'll find it right there, and it was like there was so much like you're gonna fucking die, and they're like, well, let's go.
Yeah.
that to me was like very, very like white people just don't know when to take a fucking hint, yeah, I mean, will I watch it again? If I'm in the room when y'all watch it again. Yeah,
you're gonna watch it again. But it's more by choice or not.
So I do have a question. Did they ever do a second movie?
They did, but I've not. That one's been harder for me to track down. I probably just need to like try to find it somewhere.
Because at the end of it, it was like,
Trail of the Screaming Foreheads. The Lost Skeleton returns again. So he and Dark and Stormy Night. I know he's done other movies. I need to find a way to find them because I would like to watch them. Yeah, the Lost Skeleton returns again, 2008.
Okay, so they did do more movies. Okay.
And it's more of like, I had to have found it on like Amazon or something like that, but I'd never been able to find the DVD for it. Whereas at least Dark and Stormy Night was on YouTube, so I could buy and watch that one. I think Trail of Screaming Forehead is a movie, but I've not been able to find that one either. Trail of the Screaming Foreheads.
So they did make the movies. And are those connected to this?
Lost Skeleton and Returns Again is the Dark and Stormy Night is its own movie. Even, like when he made this or when he made this one, it's kind of like Trail of the Screaming Forehead. I think all they had was like the name or whatever. I don't know that they were ever intending to actually make another movie, but.
And it's Trail of the Screaming Forehead?
Trail of the Screaming Forehead.
Interesting.
Faye Masterson. I wonder if Larry is in it or if he's directing it. He's at least directing it.
So what's that guy's name right there? Brian
Howe. He was Doctor Fleming. H.M. Winan. I think that was the farmer, wasn't it? It looks like him.
Yes, I think it was.
Dan Conroy is Ranger Brad.
So there's a lot of the same actors.
Yeah, it's a bunch of friends that are probably in the industry. Yeah, Jennifer Blair. That's Larry Blumeyer's wife, and Amala.
She's adorable.
He's in it again, and I think it's just like friends who actually make movies, or at least are involved in Hollywood, just like fucking off and having fun.
So that's what I want to do. I want to get. I just want to make little movies with all my buddies.
Which is this? I think this is the type of movie. Like if I made movies, this is the type of stupid shit I would make. I mean, because I can't act.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going to try to be like put myself in a serious role. So let's just make something stupid. It would be like the Gamers movie or whatever. Us pretending to be D&D characters, being like fucking assholes and just running around and being dipshits or whatever.
You could tell those dudes have a lot of fun just churning that out. Yeah, it's the movie is fine. It was just too on the nose.
Yeah.
As far as like the lampooning and like the writing, it was just, to me, it got redundant. Yeah. To a point.
Sure.
But like Animala to me was like the best part, and like the other part that I really do is do the rock dance, and he's doing the
do the rock dance, Paul.
And then we went back and watched the blooper reel, and like the funny part was he was like going down the steps doing the rock dance, and you hear the director go, "Okay, yeah, come down now, go to my right," and then he goes to the left. He's like, "Or go to the left, fuck it, wherever you want." Like to me, the gag reel was the best part.
Oh, yeah, the gag reel's fun.
Yeah, because you could tell those guys are just having a fucking blast shooting this.
No, yeah. Done over like a weekend or whatever.
It shows.
Yep.
It definitely shows.
Yeah. I find it amusing, but I know it's not everyone's sense of humor. Not everyone likes watching shit movies. And some people that enjoy watching shit movies only enjoy them when the people who made them were earnest.
Yeah, when they're unintentionally shitty. Yeah.
So I think it's a niche in bad movies to watch people watch a bad movie that's made bad on purpose. Most of the time you want to watch a bad movie that's just, they tried their hardest and God bless them. And this is the end result.
I mean, in a way, this is kind of a love letter to old school fucking like bad horror movies.
That's bad, yeah, bad sci-fi, bad a little bit of horror with the mutant.
Yeah,
if only it did have hands. And the first thing that you see it doing is this. It does have hands
and big claws too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looked so bad.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh my god, it looks so bad.
It's right there on the front. The mutant.
Yeah, it's like you could tell that's where the movie's budget went. That and the fucking what is it? The atmospherium.
Oh yeah. So you know, like when it's sitting on the ground and you see the smoke coming out. It didn't have a smoke machine in it. It was just setting the ground on fire.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a light bulb.
It was a light bulb in a thing. So it was just smoking because they put a light bulb on like dry grass.
Unintentional awesomeness is always awesome.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it. Thank you for asking me to watch it again, because otherwise I might not have. Mm-hmm. However, I do know that this is one of your favorites, one of Amber's favorites, one of Tim's favorites, and for some reason I just don't see the same thing you guys see. But
there wasn't enough Sharktotrons or whatever in it.
I mean, maybe I don't know, but I can't put my finger on it at this moment. But
yeah, it's not a story. It's a bunch of people being like dipshits in the woods, and I find that fun.
And you would think that'd be right up my alley. I mean, honestly, you thought that I was going to give it a 9?
I think I put through an 8. I threw it an 8.
I mean, this movie normally would be up my alley, but it's like Naked Gun. I fucking love the Naked Gun movies, and this is a distant cousin.
And it's played straight, which is, I think, how
Leslie Nielsen does it,
that
yes.
style of movie needs to be done. No waka waka.
Yeah, but like I guess the thing that just didn't get me was just it was just like someone just held me down to the ground, stood on top of me, and just kept punching me with like bad lines, funny. We misspoke this. This is continuity didn't line up. It was over and over again to the point where I was just like, I get it. No, it's a bad movie.
I think there's enough funny shit in it. Yeah, like some of the lines are bad and they kind of come quickly, but I think enough of the ones that stand out are amusing to me. Like they're sitting down in the cabin and Paul Armstrong is kind of like talking to his wife sweetly, saying like, "Man, if I had a boat, you'd be the first one I took out on it." And she's like, "Aw." It's like, who else would we take out on a boat but your wife? Like that's supposed to be a romantic line or something like that.
The one line I also did think was funny was when I think she got taken, like brain controlled the first time, and he was like, "You said something stupid."
You're doing some very stupid things, aren't you?
Yeah, but oh well. Yeah,
I like the oh well. There's a bunch of them.
And there's a ton of them.
There's a bunch of oh wells. Yeah. Which just makes me think of like, I'm not a writer. I don't know if I could be a writer because sometimes I get a phrase in my head and it keeps coming back up. Mm-hmm. And I could easily see myself writing oh well once and then just like 3 pages later writing oh well again, not remembering that I wrote that 3 days ago or like 3 lines ago or 3 pages ago, and it just keeps coming up.
I feel like they just didn't know how to kill the conversation. They were like, we'll just oh well it and move on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then there's the I wonder, and you cut over to Roger Fleming, who I also
wondered. That part was
it's
funny
good.
too. And we did watch to the very end of it and saw the ship taking back off and everything like that. Yeah. And Amber goes, "Did you have like a feeling that was at the end?" And I said, "No, I was wondering." And I said, "Have you watched it all the way through the credits to see this little extra tidbit at the end?" And she's like, "I think I've seen it once."
Yeah, it's not one I don't usually stay to watch that.
Yeah, it's just I think the ship just taking off and leaving, and then it's like, stay tuned for the screaming forehead. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a movie that I watched.
It is indeed a movie that you watched,
and it's 5. Like I might,
five's good.
Yeah, it might sound like I'm sitting here shitting on it, but it's like it's not. It's the reason I fell asleep is because it was late and it was a work day.
And you've got a kid.
Mm-hmm. And he was in bed sleeping. And he gets up at least 3 times a night right now. So
I know in some reviewer land or whatever, 5 is like, what a piece of shit movie. People they'll say like they'll talk fucking shit about a movie and then they'll throw like 5 at it like it's garbage. It's not around here. Like 5's fine. 5's fine. If you were to tell me like this movie's a 5, that's not necessarily going to dissuade me from watching it. Just kind of like I find that to be realistic expectations.
Well, also keep in mind that some people do the 1 through 10. We do 0 to 10. So 5 is true middle of the road.
Because if you're doing 1 to 10, 5.5 is kind of middle-ish, and you get screwy.
Not only that, but if it's a movie that you truly fucking hate, you shouldn't just give it a 1. It should just rank nothing. It's a nothing movie to you. And I do have 0s out there.
I think I only have 1 0. And I don't know if I've watched another movie that I would give lower than a 1. But I guess that's what we'll hunt for them. Yeah. And hopefully not find them. Because that's not the goal.
Yeah, no. This is to watch something enjoyable and talk to our friend about something that we find enjoyable. Yeah, in the beginning of it, we were going to do it to where it was going to be...
We're just going to make each other watch movies. And...
Well, I remember it in the beginning, we were like, okay, let's watch movies that like we enjoy. And then and then occasionally we'll throw a movie at you that I think you'll fucking hate and that I hate. But you won't know what it is until, but... Yeah,
we try to keep what we think about it close to the chest. Because I have made you watch movies I think are bad, but I have fun watching the bad movies. Like I made you guys watch Blood Rain. The movie's garbage, but I enjoy watching it because it's... I don't even know if it was made earnestly because it's made by Uwe Boll. I think the people in it made it earnestly, and Uwe Boll made it to make money.
I think he's just another one of those guys that's just like one take and we're done. I think
probably because he's in it just through tax loopholes in Germany or something like that. He would buy cheap ass properties, churn out a garbage movie, and then make money off it.
Interesting.
In Germany or whatever, and then just kind of like meh, there it is.
Yeah. Apparently he's a good boxer though.
Great. I don't think Mike Tyson showed up at a steak shop either.
I don't.
Yeah. Might taste a little eerie.
Yeah, it's just this movie's good. Seek it out.
Yes.
Don't spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, don't buy the Criterion Collection.
I mean, I'd tell you how much it costs, except for the fact that if I go look at it on YouTube, it's just going to say purchased.
Are you going to ask me scores?
I can. I don't know if I can find a Rotten Tomatoes, but I can at least find an IMDb.
I feel like it's out there.
I'll check afterwards. What do you think IMDb gives Lost Skeleton of Cadavra?
Is this the point number?
Yeah, it's between, I guess, 1 and 10. I don't know if you can go lower than a 1 on IMDb.
I'll say it's a 4.4.
6.8.
Okay.
So almost a 7. The Metacritic score only has 23 critics. So not a lot there, but you can guess that one too if you want.
Is that 1 to 100?
Yes.
63.
That one's 45, so closer to your original guess.
Got it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, I guess you can fill time as I go to Google and
So how you doing today? Do you sleep now?
I sleep. It's so good. I love this stupid movie.
Isn't that right, honey? Would agree with whatever you say. Always agree. Always agree. Isn't that right, honey? Always agree. She was the best part of that movie. I love Anamala. She's so good. And that actress is adorable.
Anamala, bring me the atmospherium. Bring you the Amish terrarium.
Yeah, and it's what, she's 3 possums and a squirrel.
Yeah, she's four forest animals.
Yeah, I think it was 3 possums and a squirrel. I'm not sure.
It does have a Rotten Tomato score.
Yay! Both?
It does.
Cool.
The audience has 5,000 plus ratings.
Wow.
The critics is 69.
Wow. Okay.
So what do you think the critics would give the Lost Skeleton of Cadavra?
2.7.
So 27.
Yes.
54.
Okay.
What about the audience?
I'll say 6.7.
So 67.
Yes.
85.
Wow. Apparently I'm fucking wrong.
It's too bright to show up. But
They don't need proof. Go look it up on your phone.
no, it's just kind of throw it. People watch it.
Apparently I'm wrong. I mean, maybe...
I think 85% is probably about where people might expect. I think an 8 out of 10.
Who knows?
Is a decent price
Maybe
because it's.
Maybe if I went and watched it late at night on a work day when I was like exhausted, maybe I would have enjoyed it more. Maybe that because I really wanted to go to bed and
it was holding you back from going to bed.
Maybe that's what soured me to it. Because honestly, I didn't plan on watching it last night. I planned on watching it today because the plan was we were going to drop Jack off at his grandma's, come home and do a thing, and I was going to watch it. And Amber was like, "Let's just go ahead and watch it last night."
Because he probably wouldn't have had time to watch it today anyway. With the boy still here.
Oh, we didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, I know.
So. But yeah, his grandma fell through. So yeah. But anyways,
I think so. I don't know if it's the genre you'd find interesting, but maybe not like this particular or like this kind of movie, but maybe not this particular genre. Maybe you're more of a Dark and Stormy Night person and watch it knowing that it's done by good actors pretending to be horrible.
Well, ask me next birthday.
Or in a month or two.
Wait, what's a month or two?
My turn for have you seen?
Oh shit! Okay,
it's always an option.
All right, well,
always agree.
Always agree. Tip, 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 tip. She's so cool. All right, well, is there anything else you'd like to say about the lot? Oh, one last thing I'd like to say that I thought was funny is that you could tell that the skeleton is a straight up plastic skeleton that you grab off of.
It would have been a medical skeleton, one that you hang up in a classroom.
But I also thought it was funny when it was laying down. You had the thing the brace that held the fucking rib cage up.
Well, did you notice the big bump on the top of its head,
where it
hangs from the where they would hang it?
Yeah,
they put clay or whatever on top of it to hide the hook.
I did notice he was a little bit of a cone head.
Yeah, so they had to hide the hook.
I'm surprised they even did that, because you can see the fishing line from the fucking hands when it's doing this. So it's like I'm surprised they even bothered.
If you could track down the special features too, I think they're worth a watch. Because I think the director's kid or whatever was the one directing, like moving the skeleton's arm. Because at one point in time, they're like, make him slap his knee, and they were doing that thing, and you could hear him cackling in the background.
Yeah, and I also, it's like make him do like his little legs, and he did the legs. I also thought it was funny whenever the monster, the mutant, in the bloopers was fighting it.
Yeah.
Like bones were constantly flying off of that thing.
I think that was the last use they got of the skeleton.
But, well, they apparently put them back together for the return.
Maybe the bottom new one. They tied the skeleton to his hip so he could carry it around, and then he was holding the arms and making it fight himself. You want a piece of me? Come on, you super skeleton! Come on!
Yeah.
With the very Bronx or whatever, very New York.
Yeah. All the audio was cut out of that, so that guy was just playing it for laughs.
Yeah, just making monster noises.
Yep, it was good.
Yeah. He tried to horribly mutilate. Can a mutant do that? Horribly mutilate? I wonder.
Oh well. Always agree.
The best movie ever. Always agree.
So, thank you for joining us on this special. Happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you. I'm old now. I'm officially old.
Officially?
Officially old.
How old are you turning?
40.
If you're old, I'm fucking ancient.
Yeah, we know that already.
God, many moons ago.
Many moons.
Can I use that on you now?
No, you're older. Because it'd be kind of like, come on behind the moon with me.
Okay.
So the little gremlin behind, like, come here, come on.
I guess that's fair. All right, fine. We'll be 80. I'll be 88, and you'll be 80, and I'll just be like, many moons ago? You'll be like, nope. Oh, fuck.
That's like when you watch someone who's like 80 refer to a 60-year-old as a silly kid or whatever.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, that's my aunts, and still they still call me a kid, so.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
My birthday's next. I have not decided what we're going to watch yet, but it's not going to be Lost Skeleton of Cadavra.
You got a month to nail it out.
I've got it isolated to 3 movies.
Okay, and join us next month for that, and join us every Monday for something or other.
Yeah.
We got all sorts of fun shit to watch.
And please leave us a comment.
Yeah.
We see that people are watching this, but no one's saying anything. So even if it's just first or fucking hi or you guys are fat nerds, whatever, please leave us a comment. We'd love to see what you think about some of these reviews and what you might like to see.
Oh, yeah.
Like what you want us to watch.
Because otherwise it's going to be more Lost Skeleton of Cadavra and shit like that.
Or we're going to start watching a lot more anime since Outlaw Star got so many fucking views.
We'll see what else would get views out of anime.
Just old school anime, man.
Maybe.
A lot of people are looking for nostalgia.
That could be it. Who knows?
That could be our claim to fame.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.